Hey Plated fam, so in celebration of Cerebos' 80th birthday, I was reminded of another South African classic. Today we are making a Malva pudding. Everyone loves Malva pudding. So in here I've got my flour, we've already sieved this off camera. And then of course you'll add in your salt. We've got some sugar, some jam, some vanilla essence, vinegar, as well as milk, baking powder and baking soda. So let's get into it. You'll need a whisk, of course, so I'm just going to make a well in between. Then I will add in a teaspoon of salt. Can only be our favorites, Cerebos salt. You will then add in a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder, and then you'll go in with half a cup of brown sugar. Mix that all up. And then we'll mix in our wet ingredients. So I've got some vinegar, but just add a little bit because we're going to save this for our sauce later on. That should be fine. You can add this vinegar into it. It's about a tablespoon of vinegar. You'll then add in half a cup of milk, but now you'll gradually add that in should your batter require more milk. You are then going to add in your apricot jams. Ooh. We're in the kitchen, so it is messy after all. And we're just going to whisk that up together. Just make sure that your jam, your egg, and your milk is evenly combined. So once that is evenly combined, you're going to mix your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients to form a nice paste. Okay, so you're just going to gradually add that mixture in. So you just want to combine everything together, making sure that you've got a nice batter. You'll see the consistency because I don't want it too runny, nor do we want it too thick. So as you can see, I just need to add more. That should be fine. And we're just going to whisk that up together, making sure that there aren't any lumps. And at this point, guys, while you're prepping for your ingredients or while you're prepping your batter, please make sure that your oven is preheated in advance because we need this to bake. People don't usually preheat their oven. They just assume that if your oven is switched on at a specific point in time, then your food is going to bake through. But that's not your case because we do need the oven preheated so that all the air circulates. And I have got a perfect batter. This is what it looks like. And we are ready to bake. The kitchen is going to smell so good. So now we're going to pop this into our muffin tray and we're going to bake it for about 20 minutes. So you can just use anything that you'd like to scoop it out with. I usually like pouring it into spaces, leaving out some spaces. It just balances out everything through for me. So we're just gonna pour that in halfway through. And then I'll just pour it into the other. If you've got bigger muffin trays, you're more than welcome to use that. You can also use ramekins. It really just depends on what kind of shape you want your Malva to be. You can also use a loaf pan, but I mean, we're all about trying out new things, so this works out perfectly fine for me. And there you have it. We're then going to pop this into the oven for about 20 minutes while we prepare our sauce for the Malva. And you're done. So I see that my Malva is almost ready, so I'm just going to start preparing my sauce for this. So you're just going to put your stove on. And once that's done, you are going to melt some butter. And you'll just add in some milk as well, just to allow it to melt through. You will then add in some cream. A bit of sugar. Some vanilla essence as well, as much as you want, because this enhances the flavor. And a pinch of salt. So we're just going to allow that to melt and we should be ready. And now that our sauce as well as our Malva pudding are ready, just going to take it out of the oven using these cute little oven mitts. Ooh. Perfectly baked. Look at the golden color. So what we're going to do is we're just going to poke some holes into each cake. And while it's still hot, we're going to pour over the sauce so that the sponge soaks the sauce in, and that's just what makes it very, very moist. Once we're done with that, I just want to pour over the sauce while the sponge is hot and while the sauce is hot as well. So you just need to give yourself some time and allow it just to soak through. And then it will almost be time for us to plate and serve. I love my Malva pudding with some ice cream as well as custard, but you're more than welcome to just have it with each of any of those or each of those. Yeah. Kitchen smells of vanilla and it's great. It's amazing. Now, while we wait for this to soak, we'll then plate it up. And now it's time for a taste test. Just want to grab that Malva. I need to put it in. So moist. Everything just balances out. That touch of Cerebos adds everything up together. I hope you guys do get to try this out. And happy birthday, Cerebos. See you on the flip side.